Today we are invited to reflect on hospitality and the choices we make. In the first reading, we are presented with Abraham, who sees guests passing by and he goes to invite them to his home. How old was Abraham at this point? The story ends by saying that a year by this time, right, your wife would have given birth. And we know Isaac was born when Abraham was 100 years. So at this point, Abraham was 99 years. And if you look at the narration going on, a 99-year-old man running from the entrance to his tent, going to greet guests who were passing by, bowing on the ground, going to make sure their food was prepared, waiting on them. It calls on us to all reflect on, one, whether we practice hospitality at all, whether we are generous at all, and the heart with which we practice this generosity. A story is told of a man called Kofi Antober. Don't try pronouncing the last name. And Kofi Antober in his village was known to be a man of means. But he was very mean. Each time, it was only about what he would get and not what he would give. Anything about giving, don't pass it near his door. He would give you all the reasons why it's a waste of money in giving, or being hospitable, or being generous. One day, he fell into a pit. And the village people, on hearing that, went to the place and they were all shouting, "Kofi, give us your hand. We'll pull you out." The louder they shouted, the more Kofi refused to pull up his hand. So somebody ran home to inform his wife that your husband is in the pit. We want to help, and he is not giving us a son. Maybe he wants to die. But please come and see your husband before he dies. Then the wife smiled and went to the pit. And when she got there, she said, "Kofi, take my hand." And once Kofi heard the words, "take my hand," he stretched forth his hand and they pulled him out. Friends, sometimes our whole mindset can be that. It's more of receiving than giving. It's more of the taking than the giving. It's more of what we are getting than letting go what we have. But Abraham, in today's first reading, is giving us an example. The people didn't come to ask and beg him. He was comfortably seated, but he saw that, look, the sun is up. These people are traveling. They must be tired. Knowing where I am, I can. And therefore, he did. How beautiful life would be if all of us would step out of our comfort zone, identify the needs of others, and even before they would ask, we take the first step of helping. If you read Hebrews we are told that people have entertained angels because they showed hospitality. May no blessing pass you by because you failed to be like Abraham. In the gospel reading, Martha is also hospitable. Actually, there are many commendable things we can say about Martha. And Martha would also be a picture of why somebody can have a lot of good strength and still fail in some areas of his or her life. Because when Jesus comes to her house, Jesus doesn't come alone. He comes with the disciples. So that tells you that Martha is somebody who is ready to accept not only Jesus, all his disciples, and to feed them from her resources. Martha was also very courageous because at this time in the life of Jesus, people had deserted him. The Pharisees were trying to kill him. His own family members thought that he was mad. And here we see Martha saying, "Come home and have some rest." Martha was also caring because she was taking care of Mary and Lazarus. So indeed, very family-oriented. So if she had these commendable qualities, what was her fault? It was because we are told in the gospel reading, she was burdened by the serving. And so she got distracted. And listen to what she tells Jesus. "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me myself to do the serving? Tell her to help me." Now that was what she's saying to Jesus. That Jesus, you should know better. You should know better. So because she was distracted, she even ended up critiquing the master. And sometimes it can happen to us as well. When we are distracted by the very things we think we are doing right, we may end up critiquing not only others, we may end up also critiquing our master, Jesus himself. But Jesus will tell Martha that Mary has chosen the better part. My dear friends, brothers and sisters, my dear parents, you've heard me say this before, that sometimes the choices we have to make are not between good and evil. They are between grades of goodness. But how are we able to always choose the better part? It only comes through discernment. If it's between black and white, it's easy. But sometimes only shades of gray. How do you choose that which is the better part? It is my prayer that as you go through this week, you practice generosity. You'll be hospitable. In every decision you have to take, I pray with you that when Jesus looks at your decision, you should say that that was a better option.